Well, hello everyone, Mike here, and today we are going to do a review, a 100% honest review on this 2022 Nissan Sentra. It's the SV Premium Edition with the cold weather package. This is my Sentra. I purchased it. I'm not coming to you live from a Nissan dealership, and I wasn't giving the car to review and then to give back. So stick around. All right, before we get on with the styling of this car, I just wanted to let you know that the 2022 Nissan is powered by a 2-liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine, and it's mounted to a CVT, or continuously variable transmission. Now, I know a lot of you say, oh, you hear that word CVT, and everybody on YouTube and maybe your friends or family is saying, don't get the car, it's got a CVT transmission. Well, if you hang on to the end, I'm going to let you know all about how to maintain it and how to get the most out of the transmission. And if you just follow a few steps, it should last you for quite a long time. So stick around to the end for that information, and let's get started on the overall styling. So, with the all-new Sentra, as with any car, I think styling is pretty much is in the eye of the beholder. In my opinion, if you like the styling, great. If you don't like the styling, that's fine too. With the Sentra, it is an updated modern style. It's been around since 2020, not much has changed. Okay, so in the front, we have our patented Nissan V, Swoop V, with the Nissan badge. The headlights are naturally and nicely wrapped around the corner. The wheels are a 17-inch with 2-tone alloy rims. The gap panels are just fine, and they're even throughout the car. Of course, we have our power mirrors, keyless entry. And one little thing I do like about the styling of this car, again, this is all opinion, I do like this 2-tone indicator they have here between the body panel and the roof panel. I think it sets it off quite nice and adds a little bit of flair to it. There we have the Sentra. Down here we have the sill plate. The bumper has this kind of plasticky bit in here. And the trunk. Check this out. It's got quite a large trunk. Can fit lots of luggage or groceries or whatever you need in there for a nice trip. Again, modern, sleek design. If you like it, great. If not, go for something else. For example, I have, you'll hear me refer to the Hyundai Elantra and the Civic. I've seen the Civic. I think the Civic is a great car, but that styling isn't just for me. That's all. All right, and that does it for the overall styling of the car. So we are on the interior, in the interior of the 2022 Nissan Sentra. And we're going to start with the door panels. All four door panels have this nice soft touch leather on the inside panel. And the trim, ooh, there we go, is a bit plasticky, but it is soft touch. You can, okay, this is soft touch, plastic, soft, plastic. So there is a bit of a plastic piece. We've got soft touch. This indicator is actually your blind spot indicator. Instead of on the mirror, on the outside mirror, you get a little light right here that indicates there's somebody in your blind spot, which is nice. It's on the inside of the car. You don't have to worry about any ice getting on your mirror to see it. All right, moving on, we have our air conditioning vents, our vent for our side windows for defrosting. This is weird. We have our, instead of a hood release, we have a release for the fuel tank. We have our hood release, economy mode. As you can see, we don't have any sport mode, and other various buttons here for the lighting. Okay, I'm going to put the car on. You can hear the engine on the inside. It sounds like a 4-cylinder engine, doesn't it? But we have our 7-inch display in the front, which gives us various warnings and various modes we are in while driving. Turn this air conditioning off. Okay, so these are easily functionable here with the steering wheel arrows. Okay, we have our home, and we have our fuel economy screen. We can come over tire pressure, audio. This is our lane indicator and sensors around the vehicle. Shows you what they're doing. We can go over and we have additional settings that we can control. So there's a lot of access to what you view and set on this screen. Okay, of course we have our tachometer with our speedometer over here. We've got our fuel gauge and other indicators. The steering wheel is quite nice. It's a leather wrapped steering wheel. This one seems to be heated because it is the Premier with the cold weather package, and the cold weather package gives us not only heated seats but a heated steering wheel. It does have that Nissan flat bottom, which gives it a sportier look. We move on over. We have our infotainment center. Pretty basic. You'll see this in a lot of vehicles. What I don't like about it is the quality of the radio, and it does not offer navigation in any of the Sentras. It does come with a 6-speaker system. There's 2 speakers, one on each door here in the front, speakers in the back on these doors, and then 2 behind the rear seats. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. It's not the Bose system, but it gets the job done. All right, if we go up top here, we have our moonroof. It's an electric moonroof. Open and close that. Okay, it's a one touch, which is nice. You can just touch it once, you don't have to hold it. And we get that here. We have our map lights. Who uses a map anymore? Reading lights. Okay. A rear view mirror, of course. It is not automatically tinted at night, which I don't understand why they couldn't do that in a premium edition, but whatever. We have our cooling vents. They're circular. It gives it that kind of upscale look. It is nice. We do have automatic climate control, dual zone. Okay, pretty easy to use. The on-off switch is here, and then we have our fan speed, and above that we have our heated seats and steering wheel. Below that we have our inputs. We have a USB-C, USB, auxiliary input, and our 12-volt. Below that we have a little tray here to keep your cell phone or keys or whatever you need. It is a push button start stop, and our indicator is right here along with a leather wrapped steering wheel. Oh, I'm sorry, not a steering wheel, shifter. Yeah, I'm good. Cup holders. Our center console is nice. It's nice armrest, nice and soft, and plenty of room on the inside for everything you may need. The passenger seat. Beautiful tan leather seat with the stitching, quilted stitching. Okay, this is available on the premium edition. The SR edition is all one color, but I like this because it does have that black around the edge, giving it a bit of a sportier look to offset that a bit. And there is no lack of soft touches on the passenger side as well, with this leather dashboard stitching going all the way through. Soft touch, softer touch, soft touch. That's a plasticky touch right here. Okay, but it's pretty basic. And the seats are very, very comfortable. Again, these are NASA-inspired seats. And of course, we've got our driver's seat. Okay, same bucket seat. This is a 6-way power adjustable seat. And the overall view of the front. Before we get into the back, I'd like just for 1 minute go over the paint. This is the gunmetal gray, okay? Silver, gray, whatever you want to call it. It is really interesting. It's got these metal flakes under the clear coat, which when you drive and the sun hits off it, you see these little flakes in here, and it's a pretty cool look. It gives it kind of a starburst look. And this is the gunmetal gray. Of course, it's available in many colors, but let's get into the back. Okay, the rear, spacious and comfortable. Okay, if we get in here, we have a fold down center console. All right, so moving on from the center console. Our standard window controls on the door. Again, nice soft touch in the back as well, with our restraints, seat belts. Okay, integrated headrest in the back. Beautiful leather stitch quilted seats in the rear as well. We've got hold downs here for car seats, one on each side. Even in the back here, we have our whoa bars. Okay, one on each side as well. We even have some reading lights in the back. I don't know who's going to read back here when this is going, but they're here if we need. A small pouch in the rear seat here, passenger rear seat. Even the back of the rear seat. Some cars you may see the plastic in the back here, like the Elantra has the plastic, but this is actually leather wrapped. Very nice soft touch. We have one USB port back here, so we're going to have to share. Not a big deal, but we do have a power port back here. The back seats are also a 60/40 split fold down, so if you want to put stuff in the back, make the trunk even larger, you can go ahead and do that. So for all you Home Depot guys or gals, can fit some lumber in there. And that about wraps it up for the interior. Pretty spacious. And just for some visual, I like to drive with the seat way back, like this, kind of almost laying down. And I'm about 5'8". I have plenty of room between the seat in front and my knee, so it's very, very comfortable to sit in. I don't feel squished up here in the back, or back here in the back. And even with my hat on, I have about, I would say, an inch and a half of headroom. So it is quite comfortable to be a passenger in the rear of this car. All right, let's move on. All right, let's take the 2022 Nissan Sentra out for a ride. So today, I'm going to work, so you're coming to work with me. I break it down into two legs. The first leg of my journey is pretty much on back roads, in a rural area. Second leg is highway, so that's what we're going to do. You're going to come with me on the second leg of this journey to work. So let's start it up. All right, get the glasses out. So welcome. Pull out on the road, and right away, I don't know if you can hear that noise in the background, but that is the air conditioning. It's about 100 degrees out here, so we'll keep that on for a bit. Hopefully it doesn't bother us too much. Here in New Jersey, I can't believe it's getting this hot. This is taken out of a parking lot pretty easy. So overall, the steering is pretty responsive. It's not like a sports car, of course, but we do have, it's pretty responsive. We do have that nice soft touch steering wheel, leather wrap, so it does make it quite comfortable to grip onto. Pull out in traffic with no problem at all. Again, I'm accelerating normally, not doing anything crazy. I'm not stomping on the gas, and I'm not taking it easy on her either. The suspension is quite soft. For a car this size, I'm pretty surprised. Not that it drives like a Mercedes or a luxury car, but the little imperfections in the road, you really can't feel too much. Now, one thing you're going to hear, I did say that this car does not have a sport mode. Well, this particular model, the Premium Edition, does have a sport mode. It's accessible from the gear shift. There's a little switch on the bottom. I don't know if that you can see that, but it says instead of the D for drive, it has a D with a little S next to it. So I assume that's a sport mode. I'm going to turn that off because, quite frankly, it's not a real sport mode. All it does is it allows the engine to run at a higher RPM, burning more gas. It just retunes the transmission to allow that engine to operate at a higher RPM. It does nothing. It does nothing to retune the suspension. I'm just going to put you back here. And it does nothing to allow me to get more feedback on the steering. So it's kind of, I guess they can call it technically a sport mode. Now that rumbling you might hear is the lane keep assist that's available on this model. Do I think it's a good idea? Of course. You know, if you're going on a long trip and you set the cruise control and you know, you're kind of tired, you get feedback through the steering wheel. It kind of sounds and feels like you're going over rumble strips on the side of the highway, so it kind of alerts you. If you're going on those long trips and you find yourself feeling that rumble through the steering wheel often enough, you might want to pull over and take a safety brake. But let's merge into traffic here. Otherwise, you can turn it off. I'm going to turn off the air conditioning. Oh, and that, my friends, is called Let's Stop in the Middle of the Friggin' Highway. So, I'm going to merge over into the next lane. A lot of traffic. Again, our warning and blind spot indicators, traffic around us, so you get plenty of audio and visual feedback on that. The car, the noise, you can hear road noise, but you don't hear a lot of wind noise, which is nice. It's kind of quiet in here. I do hear cars passing by, of course, but it's not excessive. Okay, I'm kind of switching in and out of lanes to test the steering. It's responsive. Again, it's not a sporty kind of responsive, and the car does roll. It gives a little roll. You can feel that, but nothing severe. Now I'm going to keep the lane keep assist on for now, but I think later on I'm going to turn it off, and if I do decide to go on a long trip, I will engage the lane keep assist, because hey, it's a good thing to have on if you feel like you're tired and may want a little help. Let me turn back that air conditioner on because it's freaking hot in here. Well, all in all, it's a nice riding car. It doesn't feel like a compact car. I think a lot of it has to do with the comfort it has in here. The seat, it doesn't, of course, drive like a luxury car, but it kind of is quite nice. All the controls are easily accessible through the steering wheel. My cruise control and voice commands are on the right-hand side. The radio, as well as the functions I can view on that 7-inch display in front of me, are on my left-hand side. Easily accessible with right and left arrows. Now, she doesn't respond like the Elantra or the Civic. Okay, it takes me a little while to get going on the highway, but nothing excessive. If you're merging into regular traffic, you guys should be fine. You know, if you're going to want to weave in and out of cars and be the first one to nowhere, well, then get yourself another car, because this isn't the one for you. So I'm going to take care of this CVT transmission and just kind of like drive normally. And that should do it. Well, thanks for coming along to work with me. And it's been fun. Okay, before I close out this video, I just wrote down a few pluses and minuses, or positives and negatives about the car, in my opinion. So, let me put on my glasses. Getting old, so I got to do that. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a plus. The plus about this new 2022 Nissan Sentra is it's very roomy, plenty of trunk space, and it's very comfortable to ride in. One of the negatives is because of that CVT, there is a bit of a lack of power. The engine is okay, but that CVT kind of holds it back a little bit. It's not as jumpy. Another plus, quality interior. There's a lot of soft touch points on the interior. I can tell you, I've drove an Elantra before, and this has many more soft touch points that give it that higher quality feel for the inside. Not that it drives better, it kind of feels nicer. One thing I don't like, this is a premium edition. A premium edition does not have, it just doesn't have navigation. It doesn't have an integrated control for the garage. And the radio, quite frankly, is a poor quality. They could have upgraded those things. But it is what it is. A plus, I personally like the styling. I like that, again, that black piece in the back between the panels that offset the roof from the body panel. I kind of like that styling. And of course, that's my opinion. You may not agree. One thing that definitely can be improved on is the gas mileage. Now, we're told that CVTs are lighter weight, the transmission, they're lighter weight, and they get better gas mileage. Quite frankly, it's about the same as any other car, whether it's the Civic or the Elantra. Now, I average about 35 to 36 miles per gallon on the Sentra, albeit I've only had it for a couple of weeks. But my Elantra, I got better gas mileage in that, and that does not have a CVT transmission. So it's still out. I don't know. It could get better gas mileage. A nice feature this has, low cabin noise. Yes, you can hear the road noise with the tires gripping, but you don't hear a lot of wind noise. And for a car in the compact class, I think it has the lower noise than the Civic or the Elantra, in my opinion. And the last thing, before I give you my closing statements, I really like the intelligent cruise control. For those of you who don't know what that is, you can actually set the cruise control at a certain speed. And depending on whether the traffic slows down or speeds up, your car will keep a safe following distance from the car in front of you to match that speed. So if the cars are slowing down, you'll slow down. If they're speeding up, you'll speed up. And that is a great thing, because I do commute about 30 miles to work each way, and I am in traffic that slows down, speeds up, and it's just a pleasure to set that cruise control and have the car maintain a safe following distance and get to work on time. And that's all I have, and thank you for sticking around. Hang on for my closing statements. We're out of here. So in closing, all in all, the 2022 Nissan Sentra with the SV Premium package, along with the cold weather features, which include remote start, heated seats, and heated steering wheel, something that I think I'm going to use in the Northeast here. I will use every bit of that cold weather package. But anyway, this car runs just over $25,000. The MSRP on that is just over $25,000. It's comparable to the Honda Civic as well as the Hyundai Elantra. So my honest opinion, the Elantra and the Civic both drive better. It's a better driving car, more responsive, more grip. It feels like they have a little bit more grip on the road and a little less roll. The Sentra excels in the interior. I think it's got more premium soft touch spots, and the seats are by far the most comfortable I have ever been in any car of this class. The reason I purchased this is, in today's market, hey, I kind of got this at MSRP. While the Civic as well as the Elantra, I'm going to be on a waiting list, and I'm paying $3,000, $4,000, even $5,000 over MSRP. Now, the Sentra is going to feel a bit underpowered at first. That's not due to the engine. I told you I'd get back to the transmission, and here we are. The CVT transmission is not made for high torque, high punchiness off the line. So if you're that type of driver who stops at a red light and likes to punch it and go, this is not the car for you. It takes a while to get going. I think according to the specs, it's 0 to 60 in like 8 or 9 seconds, which is not very good. I don't use the vehicle like that. The best way to drive and maintain a CVT transmission, slow acceleration, okay? Just drive normally, but you don't need to punch it all the time. And number two, it requires maintenance. All right, every 4 or 5 oil changes, the transmission should be serviced. And I believe there is a YouTube channel out there describing exactly how to do that. So whether you do it yourself or through a mechanic, if it's serviced regularly, it should last the life of the car with no problems. For that type of person, again, who likes to drive hard and, hey, this is my transmission, I'm going to keep it till the end, there's no need to change the fluid or anything, it may not last. I'm being honest with you. So that's it on the all-new 2022 Nissan Sentra. If this is the car for you, fantastic. If not, I would consider the Elantra or the Civic. Again, if you're that kind of driver who likes to feel the road, I believe those 2 vehicles, either one, would be the best choice for you. If you like comfort and a soft ride, this may be the car for you. Have a wonderful day, and goodbye.